Hi, I'm Lauren, and I'm going to share with you today the first 3 steps to getting out of debt. And I'm going to do this by sharing my own personal story of how my husband and I got $58,000 out of debt. The first step is really about coming to that aha moment where you realize enough is enough. I don't care what it takes. I am setting an intention right this moment that we are done with this debt and we are relieving ourselves of this debt. Okay, so first step is to realize enough is enough and to set an intention to get yourself out of debt. And I remember when my husband and I had our breaking point, we were in a pizza parlor 3 years ago with our 2 kids, and we went to pay for our pizza, and the man had said behind the counter that our checking account card was declined. And we looked at each other thinking there was money in our account, and we had found out that the bank, without our permission, had taken money out of our checking account to pay for one of my business accounts that was past due. So that was when we had our breaking point, and we said enough is enough. We are going to get ourselves out of debt no matter what it takes. Step 1. Step 2, it's about getting real with your debt. So you need to take all your debt, bring it together, look at your consumer debt, look at your personal debt, and then figure out if this is something you can actually afford to be making payments on. And for us, we had a lot of pride in paying our payments on time each month, our minimum payments. We had a lot of fear about what would happen if we didn't pay our payments. There was embarrassment, maybe there's shame. You've got to remove all emotion and just look at your debt and say to yourself, what is my truth? Can I or can I not afford to pay this debt each month? Or am I taking money from family members and from my grocery budget to make this minimum payment? That's not being in a place of truth. So you've got to get real about your debt. Okay, and for us, the action that came out of getting real was that we stopped making our payments because we realized we could not afford them. So step 2 is get real. If you cannot afford to make your minimum payments each month without it taking and juggling around all sorts of strange ways to get those minimum payments in, you've got to get honest and stop making those payments. Step 3 is to set a goal for your debt. So for my husband and I, 3 years ago, it was New Year's Eve, and we got a journal, and we decided that for the year 2011, we didn't know how, but we were going to get our family out of debt by the end of 2011. So we wrote it down in our journal, and we had a date attached to it. That's step 3. And it's no different than setting an alarm clock in terms of how it works on your brain. So if you have an alarm clock, you actually have to set a specific time that you want it to wake you up. And then once you set it, it will wake you up. You don't need to know how the technology behind the alarm clock works to set you up. You just set it and trust that if you set it, that then the actions will follow what the intentions are of your goal. And so that is step 3, is setting a goal and having faith that if you set a goal with a time frame attached to it, that the form will then follow what the intention is. Step 1, 2, and 3. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for 4, 5, and 6 next.